thinking about what videos to make, and I noticed that none of my fellow Greenville YouTubers are talking about EASLEY South Carolina, or at least it's been a while. So today I want to tell you the things about EASLEY that you won't find on Google or ChatGPT, and give you an idea of where to look for homes if you are interested in the area after I spill some tea. I want to set the stage a little bit here. As a realtor, whenever I think of EASLEY, I think of EASLEY, South Carolina lumped into Piedmont and Powdersville. And if you're doing research as well, Powdersville shows up quite often in good school districts. If you're looking at a map, that's that entire region. EASLEY's larger, then you've got Piedmont, which is not incorporated, and you have Powdersville that is also not incorporated. So you've got EASLEY services that are coming down into those areas. Now, these areas are the farthest removed from the interstate. There are main roads that go through EASLEY, but when you're talking the main interstates, they just aren't there. So usually your commutes are a little bit longer, but at the same time, you can live in EASLEY and be relatively close to downtown Greenville. Also, EASLEY is actually a little bit closer to some lakes and mountains. So we're talking about Kiwi, Jocassee. I think that's really nice. Some people, when they want to live a little bit further out, that's where they end up landing. I will also tell you this just from a completely honest perspective. It is definitely more of a conservative area of the upstate. Maybe you're going to see certain political flags and so on. We live in the South. This might attract you to the area. This might detract you from the area. I just present this information to you without further comment. Because we typically lump that Piedmont Powdersville area in with EASLEY, it is relatively desirable to live in this area based upon school districts. Just go look it up on greatschools.org or social media forums. They're gonna tell you that some of those school districts like Wren, Powdersville, let's just say Anderson District 1. Those schools are very desired whenever my clients are coming into the area and they're like, hey, we've got a family, we've got kids, or maybe they're teachers and they're looking for a great place to work. So that's also not to say that there aren't other great school districts, other great schools to go to, work at, etc. We're just highlighting this because we're talking about EASLEY. Another thing about EASLEY that I think you really should pay attention to is that EASLEY really can give you that small town feel without being the chaos that is Greenville. You're just a little bit further removed from it than some other areas. EASLEY is growing. This area does have things to do. It does have your shopping. You're going to find your grocery stores, your Hobby Lobbies. It's got its own Chick-fil-A and movie theater. A nice movie theater, actually. Now, I will say Greenville and surrounding areas have the access to the Swamp Rabbit Trail. EASLEY has the Doodle Trail. We don't talk about it that much because it's just not a very long trail. It's not connected up very many places, but that's just one more thing that out in this EASLEY area you should take note of. You've seen EASLEY show up on the map. You've seen Piedmont, Powdersville, etc. And you're like, there's not really a ton of information out there, but you're like, let's go look at that area anyways. You know what I'm about to say. You need to reach out to us. You need to scan the QR code that's up here on the screen. You need to ask for our relocation guide that we can email. We can mail you a physical copy. They're two different things, but you should reach out to us because the people on our team, we know this area. We help people all the time, whether it's buying a resale home or it's going and finding something new construction. This area is growing and it has a lot to offer. You just need to really get to know it. So reach out to the team. Getting into the tea, controversy, the things that maybe show up in the news too much. So here's the thing that you need to know. EASLEY has had a nickname, And it's not the best nickname. And I feel like we've talked about nicknames for certain areas around the upstate a lot. Bless its heart, easily gets sleazily. And I want to kind of talk through maybe a few reasons why. When your city council, your mayor, and your police chief end up in the news for ethics complaints, financial complaints, and just overall not doing their job the way that they are supposed to, it's gonna call the entire area into question. That's something where nobody likes to see controversy and where they live show up in not just local news, but sometimes national news. So when we're looking at EASLEY, you're going to find those types of articles. It's not necessarily going to be crime statistics and terrible things, but it's the leadership of EASLEY. Now, I can't really speak to it today. I know that it has changed immensely, but just over the course of the last 5 years, it's been in the spotlight of not so awesome things. Now, the EASLEY former mayor, he resigned because he had unauthorized use of vehicles, unauthorized travel. He used city funds for travel that wasn't associated with his role. Come on, man. Like, do your job and use your resources correctly. We actually had in EASLEY council members that requested SLED, the law enforcement basically for the state, investigate a councilwoman that was not doing her job for alleged misconduct. She was sharing private information to people who shouldn't have had it. Loan amounts, financial records, loan dates, balances of bank accounts, just not doing what she was supposed to do. And again, abuse of power, allegedly. And finally, we need to talk about the police chief. And this happened back in 2023. He resigned because of an off-duty incident where he got into a fight and he used a racial slur. So definitely it appears that the culture here is abusing power. Now, is that true in 2026? I really can't speak to that. I trust it's getting better. Only time will tell. You're looking at EASLEY and I just went over all of those things and you're like, maybe I don't want to live in EASLEY. Well, here's the deal. There are really some great areas to live in. Now, backing up just a little bit here, I will tell you, there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to any of the roads over here. You've heard me say that Greenville is a bowl of spaghetti whenever it comes to the roads. Same thing for that EASLEY Piedmont Powdersville area. It's just like they decided, oh, let's put a road here and make it curve 5 different ways just because. And then we have this road spliced over here. And oh, by the way, you're going to end up in a dead end over here. It doesn't make sense. So anyways, with all of that said, there are some really great places to live over here in EASLEY. Just a few neighborhoods, okay, subdivisions, etc., that I'm going to list out here. Windermere, Carriage Hill, Birch River, Lake Forest. Caledonia is massive. These houses range anywhere from $400,000 to $800,000. You will be able to find a house in this area that has larger yards, more space, more established neighborhoods, absolutely gorgeous neighborhoods. You can also find lower priced homes here in EASLEY, lower than $400,000. There's a lot of new construction in the area. There's also a fair amount of resale here in the area that you can find in your budget. So if you're interested in this area, you're want to go to some of these websites. Go to crimegrade.org. Look up some of these neighborhoods that I just mentioned. You're going to get some really good information. Is it property crime? Is it violent crime? What kind of crime is it? And also paying attention to how many people live in those specific areas. Go look at greatschools.org. You're going to be able to look up the school zones, etc. And then also, every area like this does have a community website for the most part. You're going to be able to see a lot of information there that is really good and has a lot of resources for you whenever you're moving here to the area. So if you're interested in EASLEY and you want more information, you should reach out to us. You should reach out to the team, and we would love to get you more information and answer all of your questions about this area. And if you're interested in what EASLEY looks like, you should go check out this video because we drive around and actually show you what it looks like.